Hello and welcome back to City Skylines 2. This is the stream city we've been working on over the last couple of streams. I wanted to do just a little standalone video for it because I want to do what I talked about towards the end of the stream before, which is change this, what I think is an arterial road. I think I got the terminology right. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I got it right. So I think this is the arterial because it connects to the motorway. And then the bigger roads coming off of it are like the collector roads. But this arterial road, I talked about it in the stream, and what's it called at the moment? Lindbergh Street. I want to change that into a motorway, into almost like a ring road that follows the same path, connects to the motorway down here, and will connect to the motorway down here as well to give all of this area direct access to the motorway. And also possibly for the industrial area over here, maybe we'll expand the ring road, bring it over here. Wanted to do either a sunken motorway or a raised motorway. I think I'm leaning towards raised, just I think it'd be a little bit easier to manage. The sunken one will just be a lot of faffing around trying to get the key walls working and everything like that. So I think we'll do a raised one going all the way around. I wasn't going to do a single other thing. I was going to keep the game paused the entire time that I did this. However, when I booted up, I was immediately hit with electric warnings for all the city up to about here. Was all complaining about electric, and we said we had a bottleneck over at our geothermal plant over here, which was interesting because there was no sign of that at the end of the stream, so I don't know why that suddenly occurred. If we have a quick look at our electric, we are currently producing 44 megawatts with a consumption of 77, which doesn't seem great. So yeah, we are currently producing 43 megawatts of electric at our geothermal plant. I just wanted to check to make sure that is what a geothermal plant should be producing. 0 to 150, so that's not entirely clear. Does that include the upgrades? Because we don't have any upgrades on this at the moment, do we? So that's 0 to 50. So that could be 150 on its own with the upgrades, plus whatever the plant can do. Yeah, so I don't know why that's only producing 43 megawatts. I feel like that should be producing more. Oh, we have a service. We cut the service budget. Hang on a second. Yeah, we cut the budget massively because we actually didn't need all of that electric. Okay, so if we bring up our electric panel, can we have that on our services up at the same time? No. Okay, so if we just increase this back up to if we say to just 70, we can't do 75. Let's do 76 to start with. If we just let it play out briefly, we're now producing 128 megawatts. Perfect. Okay, so we could probably bring that down a little bit. That's a massive increase. That is 3 times as much for a 26% increase in service fees. So that seems crazy to me. We will be able to sell that extra power now, of course. What I did in the short term, because we did have a problem before where we were bottlenecking over here, and we drew an extra power line from this road just over to here, just to give it 2 routes, 2 electric routes into the city. I don't think that should be required, because if we look at the low voltage cables, they should be able to carry 80 megawatts of power. So it shouldn't be a problem. So this line on its own should be able to carry 80 megawatts. So we shouldn't have had that problem, but we did have that problem. What I've done now, and it may be unnecessary now that we've done this, but what I've done is I've stuck a transformer station down here, connected to the high power lines here, just because that's an extra way of getting the power from our geothermal plant. Without, even though it's not directly connected to it through the low voltage lines, because the geothermal plant is connected via this underground high power line over to, where does it go? It goes over to here, look. So we're already exporting power along the high power line. So by sticking in the transformer here, we're just basically giving the electric from the geothermal plant an additional route to take. So that's what that's doing. So we'll leave that there. They don't have a massively high upkeep. It's 4,000 a month, so it's nothing compared to some things. If we looked at the upgrades for the geothermal plant, it's 200,000 a month for that, 75,000 a month for that. So it's a relatively small increase in our upkeep costs, and it gives us just a little bit of reassurance that power shouldn't be affected, because even if the geothermal plant now goes offline, we'll be able to import power directly into this sort of center of the city over here. But anyway, so that was a small aside I wasn't planning for. Obviously, we have a save game we can revert back to, so I'm not too worried talking about the ring road we're going to make over here. We should talk a bit about why we have to do this, I suppose, and it's because of traffic. So we have a lot of traffic coming off the motorway here. Most of this traffic tends to go into the residential area, so they have to go all the way around the roundabout to come down here, which creates a lot of traffic on these junctions as well, which is not something we'll really be addressing today. They're still going to be very busy junctions. There's not a lot we can do about that. And we also have a lot of traffic, although not at the moment, it being 3:30 in the afternoon, but towards rush hour we get a lot of traffic coming off here, which is why we have this slightly sort of janky offshoot connecting into this roundabout over here, so it can just bypass this one. So a lot of this traffic that comes off this motorway, particularly from this side, is going over here and then turning up here, largely to get into the sort of residential zones over here again, because they are getting quite high density now. We have a lot of density over here, we have a lot of density at the bottom there, and we have a lot of density here as well. So there's a lot of traffic that's trying to come from this junction and move its way up here. We did a couple of things in the stream to try and address that, so we put a little roundabout in here, and I think we did something somewhere else as well. As I say, we added in this little jankified slip road as well. So let's think about where we're going to put this ring road.
Y'all got clarinets and
I've got a couple ideas of how we're going to do the connections. So obviously it's going to come along here. This is a collector road here. It's a 4-lane road. This is one of our collectors. So this will be for our first sort of junction. This one here probably won't connect directly to the motorway. What we'll do with this is we will just delete Lindbergh Street and just join these two up, just to act as a way of getting through from this side, which is our sort of office and commercial district. Well, it's largely office now. I think we've got some commercial up here. We also have, of course, our big offices now, which I'm assuming have, quite a few employees. So that's 170 compared to these ones, 40. So only sort of doubles it, really, which is maybe a bit misleading with the size of the buildings. But obviously that is a lot more people trying to get from here over to the residential areas, because there's no residential to the left, as we are currently oriented, to the left of this sort of suburb, the office, the downtown area as it's going to become. So that will just be a connection. This one here, so this bit, Ivy Street, the North Ivy Street, is a collector. That runs up to the industrial district. So that will probably connect to the motorway, but Ivy Street here won't. So that one will just have to do some sort of weird little thing and connect that through somehow over there. This one won't be a junction. Elm Street, the south part of Elm Street, is a collector. It is a 4-lane that goes right around there. So in fact that's its own little sort of collector ring road. So that will have to have a connection to the motorway. That one won't. So this will probably...
It is a question of priority.
I don't know what we'll do there. Maybe we'll just connect this over to this road which connects to the forestry area. Same with this. This one probably won't connect to the motorway. This one won't connect to the motorway. And then over here, Foggy Street. That probably will become a collection to the motorway, because that goes straight down here. So in fact, that will become part of our motorway. So that will have to be a motorway junction, and that will connect down here to this one over here. And then what do we have over here? Spruce Street is a collector. So the south side of Spruce Street will have to have some sort of junction on it. It goes all the way around here. Where does it stop being a 4-lane? It stops there. So we might increase the size of that. I might have to move this university back to do that. And then Sunset Street there is a collector. Okay, so Spruce Street is a collector, comes down here and joins Sunset Street as a thoroughfare connector over to this side. So that will then connect down here to a motorway junction, and then Lindbergh Street, as we said, is going to be the motorway. So that's the general plan. So that will be a junction. At the moment, Chester Street isn't a collector, but it will probably have to be made one of some form. Even though it doesn't connect on this side at the moment, we'll have to do something with that. There are a couple of car parks there that are very underutilized. There's currently no one parked there at all, so we have to get rid of those. That might be because there's no pedestrian crossing there, actually. I was about to put one in, but we're going to probably doing a lot. Oh, no, that should probably is a reasonable place. Let's just, while we're here, while we're thinking about it, let's put in slope to steep. I mean, it's relatively steep. So what if we do it at a bit of an angle? Oh, it's already causing problems. Already causing problems. All I wanted to do is make a little connection here. Let's just turn off all the snapping, because that's freaking me out a bit. So if we put in a curve... Oh! Nope, not quite. What if we go from there and bring it down like this? Invalid shape, you say? I didn't think this would be that much of a problem. Shows what I know, right? Oh, over here, it was working there. So if we do that, which is a little hoggy-borgy, but okay. And that did go blue at one point. I swear that went blue at one point. We start it from the street. Yeah, that way works. Okay, so now we have a couple of connections over there. I then want to immediately get rid of these crossings, do I? Yeah, there's a crossing up there, so the pedestrians don't have to go too far to get to those crossings. So let's get rid of those crossings. So far in this, it's keeping the traffic lights there. We'll get rid of those as well. Why can't I get rid of that? What, that traffic light serves no purpose. Why can't I get rid of that? How odd. Okay, well... I can't even put them back in now. If I put that in and then get rid of the traffic lights? Can't get rid of the traffic lights. Well, it's better than it was, I suppose. Okay, let's... And I can't get rid of that crossing. Can I get rid of the traffic lights at least? Not really. Interesting. Interesting. Well, let's just hope they're only pedestrian traffic lights, and they'll only be activated when a pedestrian wants to use them. And so hopefully that means this one over here won't be used at all. But maybe that'll mean those car parks can then be used. Because right now, if anyone wanted to go to these houses and park there, they'd have to park in these car parks and then walk all the way up here, all the way down there to get to there. So that might improve pedestrian access there slightly at the very least. So, several minutes into this video on creating a raised motorway through our city, and we haven't even started. Excellent stuff. Right, let's just get on with it then, shall we? So the first thing we're going to want to do is actually probably just put in a quick save. So we'll call this 4A. Because we have done a little... I wasn't going to put a save in, obviously, because I wouldn't have done anything, but I put the transformer and I've put those couple of pedestrian routes in there. Maybe want to do the same, but I suppose there's nothing really over there for that one, unless they wanted to get to the school, but it's not so far to walk. Can you see any other sort of cul-de-sacs that might benefit from pedestrian crossing? I can't see any offhand. Maybe up here, maybe just a pedestrian route from like straight up there would be quite nice. Anyway, let's not worry about that now. Let's just get destroying. So we're going to destroy all of that. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of the pedestrian bridge of failure, which the pedestrians never used for whatever ridiculous reason. Could never figure out how to get the pedestrians to actually use that. And instead they just ran across the road like absolute maniacs. So that's gone. We don't have to worry about that. Let's get rid of the roundabout. Get rid of that. We'll get rid of that bit of Elm Street. And we'll just have to remember, obviously, that has to connect over there. In fact, is that... Oh, that is a 4-lane there. Okay, let's get rid of what's now turned into Dean Street. So I mentioned this in the stream. What is that icon? Oh, it doesn't tell us. Oh, it's the post box. Is it a post box? Yeah, it's a post box. Okay, fair enough. Right, so we'll get rid of this roundabout. We'll get rid of a little bit of Hillside Street. Obviously, this is going to affect some of the building and the zoning, but people would just have to deal with it. It's now turned into Hillside Street. See, I mentioned this before. When you change roads, it is very quick to completely remove or change, I should say, street names, which is a little frustrating, and I'm hoping that's something that they look at resolving or changing at the very least. And I have to remember where all these junctions were. It should be relatively obvious. So there it's relatively obvious because there are cars there. There we can see there's stuff which isn't on the road. Same with there. Same with this one over here. So we should be relatively clear on where we need to put roads in. He says. He says. Now obviously no one likes that because we just disconnected our water supply from everything. Were these two connected? We'll leave them like that for the minute. We'll get rid of that one though. I should probably have done this in stages. Now that I think about it, I should probably have done this in stages. But hey ho. In fact, what I probably should have done was put little stubs on. Okay, we've started now. We'll see how we go. If it turns into an absolute catastrophe of all proportions, then we'll worry about that later on. So that one was connected. We'll get rid of that. That one... I thought that one was a bridge. I thought we had a bridge there, but we couldn't have done because it's got the Wi-Fi, the antenna on. So we'll just get rid of that as well. We'll get rid of that little stub. So that is the main route for it. We also want to get rid of the end of Foggy Street down here. And then get rid of all of this jank we have down here as well. Get rid of that, get rid of that. And that will probably end up connecting back into there at some point. And then we'll have to think about what we're going to do with these little streets. We'll probably have to put a road back in here, like underneath the motorway. But let's just be destructive for now, and then we'll get to it later on. We might have issues with these bridges that we have. So for now, let's get rid of the bridges as well. I think I've caused some problems for myself by doing way too much at once. Like, I shouldn't have deleted everything, but we'll see how it goes. I don't even know exactly how I'm going to get the junctions in yet. Because these bridges will probably just end up running underneath the motorway now. So I think that's everything. Yeah. So, first things first, let's bring this right back. So we might actually end up getting rid of all of this. So if we're going to want it raised, there's no point in having it raised from here. Like going down to ground level, then raising, is there? We may as well just raise it to start with. So let's be even sillier. And just get rid of, like, everything up to there. Oh. I'm suspecting this is a terrible idea, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So we want a 2-lane highway. We want to turn on our parallel mode. So at the moment, it looks like that. If we decrease the offset, we can go down to 0.25. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. We could also just go for a 4-lane 2-way highway. The problem with that is then you can't really... Oh, wait, is that a... Let's turn off offset for a parallel mode. Yeah. So that's an asymmetric one, even though it doesn't necessarily say asymmetric. Yes, the problem with this is you can't then increase the lanes. Whereas over here, if you do the separate one-way ones, you can at least increase the lanes up to 5 if you need to. So let's get rid of those. So we'll go back to our 2-lane highway, toggle on parallel mode, and then let's start drawing in. Oh, first of all, the height. So I think maybe the first thing we need to think about is maybe how we're going to do the junction. So we'll do that over here in this initial space. So let's turn down the steps. So I think, if I recall correctly, let's find somewhere we can draw over without causing too many problems. Let's just go over here. So 10 meters can go across. 7.5 can go across. 5 cannot go across. So 7.5 is kind of like our minimum height requirement to get across another road. Doesn't leave a lot of room, because what you can do with bridges now is you can zone underneath them. If you obviously have a 7.5 meter highway, you can't zone very much underneath it. But for now, what are we going to do? If we go to like a 15 meter, how high does that look? Pretty high, but not crazy, and it gives us a bit of room to maneuver underneath as well, should we need it, because we should be able to then go down to 7.5 and come underneath it if we needed to as well, for our junctions. So let's do that. Let's go back up to 15. We'll turn on a continuous series of bends. The way the parallel mode works, it always... So if you watch other people who are doing right-hand drive, the road you draw will be the right-hand road. Because I'm using left-hand drive, the road you're drawing is the left-hand road. So if I started from here, obviously that's not going to connect. So you just need to think about that just a little bit. So we can probably come up here quite straight.
We could say that we're enjoying a positive trade balance and the economy is booming.
And then we're going to need to start thinking about curving
and
here.
on to our main feature story. The commercial district is booming as the area is attracting more high-end stores, bringing the latest in luxury to our neighborhood. You can now shop for
We shouldn't be seeing much
while
elevation
sipping a fancy
change.
local Jarva mate.
Hopefully.
Or so my wife tells me. That's good for business and good for the community.
Thanks, Jim. We'll be back after this.
It's coming a little over there, then we want to curve up here. Nice straight bit there. Come along there. Can have a nice, relatively straight bit there. Then we want to go right down the middle here. I think that looks about right. We are going to lose these buildings on the side there. That's not too much of a problem. We don't want to lose the communications tower. We could always put it in somewhere else, but ideally we'd not want to not lose it. So that is most of that drawn in. Let's just come out of there. Yes, I mean, it's going to destroy these buildings, or it's destroyed some buildings already. We are very close to Chester Street. Closer than I would like? Maybe. But we're going to have to do a lot of sort of domain grabbing, a little bit of land grabbing here. We're going to have to destroy a fair bit to make a lot of this work. But I think to start with, I think that looks pretty nice. We also need one to come in down here. So let's get rid of all of this. At least back to there. Probably have to go back a bit further later on. And if we try to line that up, I suppose it's not going to line up perfectly because it's a different offset, isn't it? And we're going to want to come down here as straight as we can, trying to minimize I'm doing quite a bad job of it. I think if we come in there, I think that's a lot straighter than that bit. So let's get rid of this. And then come in straight down there to about... We'll just leave it there for now. I think that's fine. So we've got most of our raised motorway in. Now we need to worry about junctions, and obviously connecting up here as well, but that's something to worry about another time. And potentially also bringing it in over here. First things first, we need a junction here to connect this motorway to this motorway. Now they are already quite drastically different heights, aren't they? Because this one has maintained its height rather than sloping down a little bit. So we need a three-way junction. So I think what I'm going to do, we're going to have a quick look at intersections and just see what the game's done in other areas. We need a little bit of space. Do we have any space anywhere? We have a little bit over here, look. So we have this kind, which I think is like a trumpet, I think. So we could circle this one around to join in. We have a trumpet roundabout, which looks like that. I don't know that roundabout's even really necessary, is it? You could just put a road in there with a junction on. The directional T, we've seen a partial clover leaf. We're not out of space to put it. Looks like that. In fact, really didn't want to do that because that's just taking out some of those trees, but no matter, I suppose. Wish there was an undo button. Undo game, undo. Looks like that. And then that one connects to a local road, that connects to a local road, and then we got the four-way ones that we're not so interested in. So those are the ones we can use as a sort of a reference, although obviously I'm just going to wing it and see what happens. Because that's how we roll, right? That's how we roll. We might want to bring this back a fraction. What do you mean overlapping items? What do you mean overlapping items? Why can't I connect? Oh, because it's the height difference. And basically we just want to curve this over a bit. So it's coming in at a bit more of a... what's the word? Not parallel. The other one. I don't know, a 90-degree intersect. We'll just go with that. Okay, fantastic. So, now we need to make some sort of junction out of this. How are we going to do this? This one doesn't look very high at all, does it? There's also not really any local roads to connect to. It will probably connect to this one. What are you complaining about? There's no path to this destination. What are you trying to path to? There's nothing there. Oh, there are some people there, and they're just going to despawn, I imagine. Sucks to be you. So, let's have a think about what we're going to do here. This is very much learning on the fly. A professional YouTuber would plan this all out and thought about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. And we all know that's not how I roll, is it? So in the first instance, this needs to get off the offset to start with. We need to connect this one to there. And we need to connect this to there. So that's those two connections created. But now I need to get this one swinging in over there and this one swinging in over here. So the question is, do we go up or do we go down for that? So if we go up, we'd have to go up relatively high to achieve this. Something like that. Obviously, the... No, it is the wrong way, isn't it? One needs to connect on the other side. Boop, boop. My mistake. So that would have to connect in there, something like that. And then we need this one connecting in here. So how are we going to do this? Can we get it to go underneath? I suppose is one question we have. What is that sound? What is that sound and what does it mean? I'm trying to get it to go underneath here. Slope too steep and it's intersect. Oh, there we go. So we could bring it into about here. We have a fairly steep slope to get there, but it works. That is horrible. And there's not a lot we can do about it. Let's just try making that less severe. It's a shame that it's all one road. Because I turned off my snapping. There we go. That looks a lot better, doesn't it? So it's a bit of a mess. This one probably goes up too high. But still, we have a motorway connected to a motorway. And everything's happy. The one thing I didn't think of actually was the fact we do need local connections down here as well. So it's alright having the motorways connected, but we do need some form of connection. So actually, I think we need to get rid of all of that. But it's a good little lesson. We're okay with it. We're okay with it. This is all a learning curve, right? This is all a learning curve. Once I have a bit of a plan as to what I'm doing, we can think about doing stuff better. Because the other thing to remember, I suppose, is the motorways don't carry water. And obviously there's nothing zoned to them, but right now, all these buildings which are going to de-zone also have no water going to them. And if we wanted to put... Oh, that's a good point. If we wanted to put a road... we can't put a road underneath because they're too close together. We might have to get rid of all of it. So we can at least get a road going in between the pillars. Okay. Hadn't considered that. Hadn't considered that. So if we do that... Nope. So now we can just about fit a 2-lane road in between the pillars, but only a 2-lane. So we couldn't have anything bigger than that. I'm assuming, unless something very magic happens. No, that's just not going to work, is it? And I don't know we'd want to have the offset much more than that either. How much of a problem is that going to be? I don't think it's going to be a problem for this one, because there was nothing zoned to this. Maybe a problem... There was stuff zoned on this one, but we don't necessarily need it. So we can zone stuff to this road here and to this road here. So that one I don't think I'm worried about. How worried am I about this one, having stuff zoned along here? A bit more worried, actually, because here we don't have... We could just put in roads, I suppose, going either side. And do I want to have a road just following underneath the motorway? Probably not, because it's going to make everything else quite awkward. Okay, so that's fine. We don't need to worry about that, I don't think. I think we'll try and work around that. What we do need, though, is some form of junction. So I'm thinking the easiest way is to basically do a roundabout, isn't it?
With Second Moon Radio, your second musical home from home. So settle back in your chair, pour yourself a glass, and prepare for another hour of musical delight. Tonight,
Not that
we are
one. Does it
doing a
exist in
musical
geometry?
tour of Italia. Land of art and
Trying to snap to the middle,
as they say, and an aria inspired by the
and it is not liking it. Not that one. We want the
leader of the
guidelines.
city services division is with us in
It's
the
just not
studio
liking it.
today
It's
to
fine. We'll
talk
just work
about
around
why
it.
they're contracting with outside
So if we think about this,
agencies
we
to
start up
provide vital
here.
services for our residents.
So if we do like
Isn't that going to
a
be costly, Mr. Councilman?
Oh, well, quite frankly, yes. It is an additional expense, but
48
residents have come to
meter.
expect a certain level of services, and we simply do not have the capacity to provide them within the city.
Sounds like we're the ones who will end up paying for it.
I think that's in the middle.
Worry.
I was
I
trying to
expect the
snap
residents
into
would
the
be more
bridge.
distressed if key services became unavailable.
So it might be you have to
Their
delete
quality of life is
motorways.
very important.
Now I want you to do 90
So
degrees
is
and you're
the
not
money.
doing it.
We'll be back after this.
It's also definitely not in the middle, is it? No. I think what we'll do is we'll just temporarily get rid of that. And it was 48, so it'll be 24 in either direction. And if we turn that on... Did it? Oh, I accidentally created non-curved roads somehow. So let's try that again. Did it again? Oh, it's because it's on a... No, it's not on continuous. Don't know why it's doing that. Curved. That's because I had it... Yeah, okay, I think I saw what's happening. And we get rid of the ones in the middle. So we have a largely, not quite perfect, but a largely circular roundabout. It's not bad, it's not bad. So then if we draw our motorway back in, which is going to have to be of equal length ideally. Oh, we need to get the offset down again. Oh, okay, right. Oh, right, it's just it's absolutely huge. I thought it was not doing that. I thought it was snapping to it. There we go. Should be... Yeah, 15. There we go. Right, so now what we basically need to do is get these connected to this roundabout rather than directly to this. We could... I don't know. We'll think about it. So this needs to come... It's going to have to be a lot longer than that, isn't it? If we could start from about here. Turn off the parallel. So that's about 14. That's quite big. That's about 10. That's better. So we have that connecting to there. In fact, we could probably do with moving that a bit further back. So we want to have one coming off there, aren't we? So we went from about that pillar, didn't we? And then one coming off here, which is going to have to go up to about 15 meters. Like that, and we will try and do a little bit of lane mathematics here as well after the fact, but for now we're just going to get this working. So roughly the same sort of place, come down to ground level, bring that one in about there, and then we want one coming off of here, which we didn't want to do it like that, having it flat all the way, so we'll try that again. Something like that. So now this motorway is connected to the local road network down here. Okay. I'm going to reiterate again that I am basically making this up as I go along. What are you? You're just a low density officer. It doesn't matter too much if we lose that. And we're okay with losing a lot of this stuff down here, weren't we? Which is a lot of mixed housing. But like I say, if we just bring a road in like down here instead, we can zone along there. And the same on this side, we can just bring a road in along here. The muscle car garage might present a bit of a problem, but that shouldn't be too bad. So the question is, do we now connect this to this motorway? In which case it would have to connect, ideally, before this junction. Because you want people coming off here to be able to go down there. Or do we just connect this straight down there to that roundabout? That's the word I was looking for. I don't really want to go, oh, I suppose that's not too bad. Go down there. So if we basically connect a 2-lane highway here, bring that up there. Something like that. It doesn't quite have the smoothness of connecting that straight. So if you had any through traffic wanting to get straight to the motorway, though, does it? Well, so what we could do for one thing would be to do something like that. And something like that. And then it's just this lane we would have to worry about. So if we connected this to like this slip road or over here, and it's getting messy. I'm very aware it's getting messy. So we said 7.5 was kind of the minimum, but yeah, there's not enough height on that motorway to do that. If we do 5, obviously not. So we would have to go over. 20 works, 17 doesn't. So if we put that in there, that what we could have done actually is done like a parallel road down there, couldn't we? If I do this, yeah, that does work. But then it doesn't like it's overlapping things, it says now. I thought we could do like, I thought we could just draw a road parallel to it if we did that, but that doesn't seem to want to. Oh, hang on. Oh, it did work. Fine. Excellent. Perfect. So we now have 2 lanes going over there. One of them needs to go over here. So we're going to need to change the direction. So we'll just do that very quickly. We can't. There we go. Turn off that. Start bringing this down. Now that is for some reason. Oh, there. It was overlapping with the roundabout for some reason. So now that's connected into there. So, oh, it's going to start getting so messy. It's going to start getting so messy, and I'm kind of here for it. So we could just take another one off of this. That got very weird down there. Yeah, I don't want it to do that. But if we do that, we could probably just upgrade this bit, yeah, to a 2-lane to make that work. Okay. Something like that for that side. How we're going to connect this side, I don't know. I really don't know. This could do with being lower. Can I just upgrade that and say make you lower? Not really. That would be too much to ask, wouldn't it? What are you connected to? Don't do that. So we could bring this over here. Lower it significantly. Be lowered more, isn't it? It looks like it should fit underneath. What about if we just draw... So what is that at the moment? About 5 meters. Yeah, so that's not going to go at all. So we'd have to go over this one to go over there. Or make this one higher. I mean, what is going on there? What is... Oh, it's because it's gone the wrong way. That's fine. We can fix that. And then we'll try and fix that horrific corner, maybe, at some point. But for now, let's see if we can get this. We need to connect in over there. Don't need to do anything weird. I just want you to connect in. It's probably not helped by the fact it's the... No, it's the right direction, isn't it? It's the right direction. So if we maybe just... If we lower you first? No. So if we maybe bring you in...
That was truly
here?
superfluous.
There we go. That's what I want to see.
Second Moon Radio, the station of levitated radio.
So it's a mess, but that kind of fits, doesn't it? So we now have the 2 highways connected, and we have a connection to a local road, although that local road can't go anywhere because of the connection. So actually, that roundabout, if we wanted to like bring a connection in over there, is functionally useless. Oh, this is so much more of a headache than I was anticipating. So much more of a headache than I was anticipating. We need to connect that back in as well, but that's something we can worry about in a minute. Maybe we just say, and we might have to change it depending on traffic, but maybe we just say this one. Why is that so weird now? Because I upgraded that to a 2. Let's downgrade that to a 1 lane again. We just say that this road, this highway, connects into this roundabout. Now we probably should make that a 4 lane. And they do have a shortcut to get to the Evergreen Highway. They don't have a way of getting over here easily, but that's fine. We still actually have the problem though that this road can't connect to anything. So if we wanted to do this, I think we would want to raise these and have it connect in from over here more. I think. So then that gives us the actual... The whole point of me doing this is to give access to the... the lower roads, the local roads, being able to actually get there. And we want to upgrade the direction of this. Hello, thank you. Didn't want to upgrade that bit necessarily. There we go. So what's going on here? It's because we want this bit to be a 2-lane, don't we? Then we should be able to fit. Don't know if we could do a 4. No, a 4 might be asking too much. We could always probably quite easily just shuffle these over a little bit, couldn't we? I don't know if we need a 4-lane collector style, but I'm just thinking for the sake of it. It's going to have to leave a little bit of room actually, because we do want to fit in another lane there, don't we? But we should now, hopefully... Nope, still doesn't like it. Why don't you like it? Between overlapping, you're connecting to the motorway, to the roundabout. Do you know what? It's fine. We'll just stick with 2 lanes off of it. Well, I'm assuming. Oh, hang on, that was upgrading. No, I didn't want to upgrade. That wasn't upgrading. Okay. No, still can. Oh, now I can. Okay. What happens if I say upgrade that? Oh! There we go. We can get a 4-lane local road connected to that. Excellent. So now we just want to get the connection from there over to here, don't we? And in fact, I think what I might do here is see if we can connect. And if we upgrade, I just wanted to do that bit, not all of it. Now I can't upgrade that to a 3-lane for a slip road. I also can't see where the traffic from this one would actually come onto it. Let's do that instead. Then upgrade that to a 2-lane. And really we'd want this upgraded to a 4-lane then. That we're going to want to be a 3-lane. Don't know why that's complaining about that. We're going to have to do that. So it's janky as anything, but that's what it wants, so that's what it gets. Right, so this side is done. This turns into a 4-lane. That connects to the local road. That connects to the highway or the motorway going down there. Over here, we want to connect this lane. What did we just do? No, not that. Not even close to that. Definitely looked like it was snapping there. Let's put that to 7.5. Figure out what's gone on there. It's because that little segment needs to be a 2-lane. Yeah. I hate the fact it's got the U-turn there. I really hate the fact it's got the U-turn there. Whilst we're here, can we make this slightly less janky? Yeah, perfect. Let's come back to this, back over here. And we can just quite simply do that, which I think works quite nicely. Let's upgrade that to a 2-lane. That does not want to be a 4-lane. It's like it tries to create extra pillars or different pillars, and then the pillars don't fit the way you think they would. So what if we... I can't even delete that. I cannot even delete that. That is mad. Don't even know what I'm doing now. What am I doing now? Overlapping items. I just need to connect back up. Oh, I think I've ruined it. I think I've ruined it. I can't even connect that to that now. I think I have ruined it. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What are you possibly overlapping with? Is it because I'm not high enough? I think it's because I'm not high enough. Not quite what I wanted, is it? Oh, I've ruined everything. That's pretty much there. We'll try and see if we can make this a bit different in a second. Right, so we can get a 3-lane in there. Although not at all how I'd like it. No, I don't like that. I don't like the fact it's creating the new lane on the right-hand side. And I think that's because those two are joined. And yes, it was. Right, so that looks neater as well. So now if we try upgrading that to a 3-lane, that's more what I'd like. Might even make that a bit longer. Right, okay, that's working. Woo! Who knew that doing all this would be such a faff? So what height are these? About 7.5 at the minute. So we come off of there. Join that up there. Then we can upgrade this one to a 4. Not in the right places. Not how I'd like. Slope too steep. What do you mean slope too steep? Why are you trying to slope anything? Okay, so maybe we try upgrading it to a 4 first. I think I'll try to upgrade it to a 5 anyway. I think it's done. Wow. I mean, this video is now been going on for an hour and 5 minutes already. So what I'll do is I'll do a bit of a time lapse while I try and figure out the rest of it, get the rest of the junctions down, and see if we can get to a place where we can have a go at sorting the traffic over here. What is this one? This one is for the rail. Okay, also we need to get rid of all of these now. In fact, I'll do that later. That's not a concern. Let's just finish off this junction so we're at a point that we're happy with. I want to see if I can squeeze that in there. Oh, I can. Wonderful. Let's just make sure it's actually connecting to the roundabout. Awesome. And then we didn't have a connection down there, so the next one would be like here, but we'd only need like a local one. Yeah, about there. I have to connect that and that together. Okay. So I think this is largely done. The only thing we said we wanted to do was we wanted to bring
my keys?
this road.
What? We're in the air?
Along here, didn't we? So I'm going to get rid of this bit.
That it's up.
I don't want to get rid of all of it.
Lost my keys. I'm sure they'll turn up. They're for the brown sedan parked outside the radio station. Oh, wait. I probably shouldn't have said that if anyone finds them. Please, don't steal my car. I mean, the old hornbuckle mobile, please. Oh, good. Here they are. Well,
so we want to bring this
thank you for listening to Second Moon.
Straight down here, pretty much. Overlapping, it's because of the car park? It's because of the car park, I think. I don't want to lose any of this zoning, which I don't think I'm going to. So that's going to go there. Oh, it's because that's got a key wall there. I just noticed that's got a key wall. Oh, that's going to be a problem for us, isn't it? That's going to be a problem for us. So we're not done. We need to get rid of... I hate it when it says I can't bulldoze something. That really winds me up. We need to get rid of this again. I promise. Once I've done this one, I'll let you all go. So this needs to come down to about here. I don't want you to be a key wall though, which is what you're going to do if you connect there. So if I bring that in there, delete another segment of that. That's about right. And then we should be able to connect this. Over here. Again, bit janky, but we've had to go around that pillar. Let's just see if we can... No, I don't want to move that at all, do I? So no, I think we're just going to have to live with that bit of jank. That's just fine. Right. So, now, I would actually say this junction is done. I don't know if this is even going to solve our traffic problems. We might find that these roundabouts become so insanely busy, and we are probably not in a position to upgrade them either. Oh, wait, if I made that a two-way... And that's going the wrong way around the roundabout anyway, isn't it? Oh, I can't even upgrade all of it. Oh, you are winding me up, game. You're winding me up. I don't want to go all the way back there. In a minute. Again, I promise this will be done in a minute. And then you can just have a nice time lapse to watch. This is why I didn't want to do it on stream, though, because I figured if I do this on stream, the whole stream is going to be me struggling. Struggling to do this. Right, and we now have a 2-lane. We don't really want any parking on there, but we'll have to deal with that later. We've also got traffic lights all over it, which we obviously do not want. We don't really want pedestrian crossings either, I wouldn't have thought. Whether that's just going to mean pedestrians run across our streets like idiots, who knows? That's a mystery. But yeah, but they can't go across here anyway, so there's literally no point in having pedestrian crossings. So let's just get rid of all of these. It's a little bit hoggy-boggy there. There's stop signs there. I took them out and it put traffic lights back in. Oh no, it's not a stop sign. It's a no entry sign saying don't go that way because it's a one-way street. That's fine. That makes sense. Right. And now we need to take out those and those. Yeah, so we may find that this becomes an incredibly busy roundabout anyway, and I suspect it might do, in which case I literally have no idea what I'm going to do. But I'm kind of enjoying the look of it. I like having the raised motorway all the way down. It's a lot of work. I think it makes sense to have this kind of thoroughfare strip straight through the middle, and we'll just have to decide whether this is sensible. Maybe we just get rid of like this one, or maybe we get rid of these. I don't know. We have to have some form of connection from the motorway to the ground level, though. That's, you know, that's a given. And we need the roundabout just because we have other connections onto it that we are going to need. So if we just put a street going down there, it will just give us lots of junctions. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be better as a junction. Anyway, I'm going to time-lapse the rest of this so this video isn't 15 hours long and see how I go. Right, I thought I'd bring you back in at this point because I think I've actually finished this stretch of the motorway. And just this stretch. Haven't really touched this bit. Haven't done any of this bit. Ooh. Ooh. So, one of the things I've done, and you may have seen this in some of the... speed up? What's the word? I don't know. Time lapse. There we go. So the local connection from the motorway down to the roundabout I've removed. Because I was always planning on putting these like diamond interchanges into the local roads anyway. So I thought if we've got diamond interchanges like there and there, why would we need a connection to that roundabout? All it's doing is generating more traffic onto that roundabout. All we really need that roundabout for is to get traffic from this motorway, from Anchor and Evergreen, onto this roundabout to get to the local traffic. And even then, they would hopefully go down here. So I've removed that, and I've re-added in connections to this side, Anchor Highway, over to Cypress and Beechwood Highway, which I should rename them all to motorways, but it's not going to matter because it'll change all the names, so let's just ignore it. Let's just live with it. Obviously, it's a horrible spaghetti mess because you're welcome. That's how I roll. I could probably look at using some of the built-in junctions for this, but I'm trying to just do it myself, regardless of how messy it is. Although maybe, yeah, because if we did that, we'd actually have the local road connections, would we? Same with that one over there. That doesn't even... Or does connect to a highway. Either way, I think we're looking okay. So yeah, this is what I've done. So I've joined up all of the roads in the middle. The Myrtle Street collector I have looped around here. Just notice I need to downgrade that bit. So yeah, it loops around here, around this sort of rectangular loop. That's where the two diamond exchanges are. And obviously this one then goes straight down to a lovely little junction straight after that as well, just to really complicate things. Myrtle Street continues up to here and joins to Lindbergh Street, so we've got some other access to this part of the route, because at some point this is probably going to become quite busy, I suspect. We will have another connection somewhere. I don't know, maybe after the forestry's finished, we'll get rid of the forestry area and have another bridge over here, but right now we're sort of saving that for forestry bits. It might be worth me buying that tile and just flooding that with trees, because these have got quite a lot of wood in them at the moment. We've taken away a lot of these by putting this down. Let's just get rid of this while we're here. And yeah, so far... this video is almost 2 hours long. And obviously the actual video isn't going to be because of the time lapse and everything, but that's just how long. You can see it's replaced the trees with young trees down there, which is a way of sort of planning your route. If you wanted to put down a road to see where stuff is going to go, you can then go in afterwards. Just turn that up to 100. And we'll just spread a bunch of trees around here. Just repopulate some of the trees we've just removed. Obviously some of them aren't going to go down because of that area over there. Just give this a bit of a chance to grow. Because at some point that forestry area is going to disappear. It's going to use up all the wood in there. And we are going to want to move the forestry area a bit. So I think what I might do, we've got lots of tiles. I think I might buy up these couple just to join this bit of the map together. And then it's just a nice little break for me from not doing highway stuff. We'll just fill all this. And then maybe at some point we will put a... Cause I wonder if you can bridge over the forestry area. I guess you can. So maybe that's what we'll do. If we end up having like an industry area up here, maybe we'll have this connection. And we'll have another one coming in over here with a bridge over the forestry section. Now, if you keep an eye on my money, this is costing us thousands and thousands and thousands. But it will hopefully pay for itself in the end with a thriving forestry industry. That's the plan. I don't know how much chance they're going to get to grow up. As you can see at the moment they are teeny tiny and have basically 0 wood. And they need to grow up into a tree with 3,000 wood. Which is going to take them some time. It actually looks like those may be the ones we planted before. It actually looks like they are, because in my initial video, when we did the forestry, we couldn't really tell where they'd actually done any forestry. But it looks like because we actually see that the log loader there, maybe it is actually removing some of the tree growth as it goes, so it gives you an idea of how much you've used up. In which case, we've used up about a quarter there, which isn't too bad, is it? Right, that done. So yes, so I'm going to go back to doing the time-lapse thing. These are people with a broken pathway finding, isn't it? Yeah. But this stretch, this middle stretch is now done with this horrific highway interchange up here. It's only really made horrific by the local connections. And do we need the local connections? Because if we didn't have those, it'd be a lot neater. And then we could just use the... It'd push all the traffic down here. It'd know, because any of the highway traffic or the motorway traffic from here, which wanted to get to a local connection, would have to come down to this diamond interchange. I say diamond, it's more of like a rectangle. Which is going to put massive traffic there, which I was trying to avoid. So no, I think we do need that there. Right. Onwards then. Onwards and upwards. Okay, I think I am done for now. So you can see we have extended the motorway and its diamond junctions along this area here. So there's diamond junction here, diamond junction here. I think I was going to put one here, but I put it over there instead, which is one, a worse place for it just because of the shape. Aesthetically, it's worse. And two, it's worse for the industry traffic, which is going to come down here and then along this road to get onto the motorway. I suppose they might come down here and come down here. Yeah, so I've made that a four-way. I might have to extend, while I'm thinking about it, let's extend this to be a four-lane as well. Just so if we do have a lot of traffic down there, that should help it cope with it a little bit. I should probably check my bus routes at some point, because they are obviously all kinds of broken now. Because I've got rid of one of the main roads where there were buses. So I think what I might do is potentially just delete the bus routes, and we'll start that again next stream because they are a mess. So let's just delete those for now, and we'll deal with that later. I probably should have kept them on for now too, because I do want the game to run for a little bit. Just to see how the traffic reacts. So maybe in the meantime, while that's going, I'll put down the bus routes just for something to do. What is this? No car access. Yeah, I don't care. Destroy yourself. So yeah, I've put lots of roads. Well, we've already seen that one. I put roads going underneath the motorway. A couple of diamond junctions over here. I've added a a trumpet junction in over here. Had to buy this tile to do that, but that's fine. Gives us a little bit of area to expand into later on. Remember, this is kind of pretty much all industrial over here. And I'm just hoping this will help ease the traffic. It might make the traffic worse having all these diamond junctions onto a motorway. But I think in general it's less traffic going onto this, what was an arterial. I suppose it's still sort of an arterial because it's not really a motorway, is it? But it's still an arterial. I'm hoping that helps. This here makes me laugh every time I see it. This could be the problem. This could be a massive problem. We'll have to see. So, yeah, I think I'm largely done. There's a few buildings obviously complaining because I haven't unpaused the game. So these buildings will just destroy themselves at some point because a lot of them have lost their road access, obviously. I think that one's not connected because there was a pillar in the way, yes. Might do something about that later. I'm in no rush to do anything about that. But I think the motorway is now done. I'm sure a lot of you will watch this video and then immediately comment saying, why did you do that? You have made life so much worse for yourself in basically every regard. Might end up putting another diamond interchange on here anyway. I am concerned about industrial traffic and where that might go, but we'll have to figure it out. Ideally, they would come down here to the motorway, but if they're coming over to the commercial zones, which are like here and here, yeah, that's a bit different, isn't it? Anyway, we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to put down some bus routes and some new bus stops, seeing as we destroyed a lot of ours. Think about where they're going to go. We could definitely... Oh yeah, I'm not going to talk it through. Do another little time lapse. I'm going to let the game run, see how the traffic goes. I'll try to get up to rush hour, but that might be a little bit too long for the game to run. I don't want to give the game too long, because I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to put down any zoning or anything like that. Even the stuff that I've unzoned, or the new roads that I've made, I don't want to zone those in at the moment, so we'll see. When we come back to the stream, remind me I want to connect these roads up here. There's no reason for them to be unconnected anymore. They were only disconnected because this was like a main sort of thoroughfare road. I suppose it still is. Well, we'd probably still connect them up. Anyway, I'm going to put some bus stops down and we'll see how the traffic goes. Okay, we are past the evening rush hour, at least in terms of like normal times. I don't know how well it actually applies to the game, but we tended to see traffic around 5 PM normally. And apart from a bit of traffic over here, I've just put a bit of roundabout in just to try and ease the traffic there a bit. And I did say I expected that to be there. We might end up getting rid of Sycamore Street, or this bit of Sycamore Street. I'm pushing the traffic up here, so at least the traffic coming on and off the motorway has a bit more room to maneuver. So, I think we are good to stop about there. I'm going to pause the game again. I didn't want it to run for too long. In fact, I probably won't save it at this point. I'll just let it go. Although do remind me to put that roundabout back in, so that's going to be a problem otherwise. But if we have a little look around, Not too much traffic down here. It's all looking pretty good. This doesn't look too horrific, which I'm glad about. The main issues are probably going to be here. Here, as they're the initial exit points off of the motorway. And then here, this one here, where we have our industrial traffic coming down and making its way towards the commercial zones. So industrial traffic coming down here. If it wants to go on the motorway, it comes down here, possibly, to get onto the motorway there. Or it comes down here and goes down here to this junction. If it wants to go to the commercial zones, it comes down here to get to here or to here. And if it wants to get over here, it also comes down here. So, not ideal. I did say we might look at extending the motorway over to the industrial zone at some point, turning Washington Street here into another motorway segment. Simply ran out of the will to live to do that today. Just ran out of the will to live. So we'll see how that goes. At some point, maybe. At some point, maybe. There's just one thing I want to do before we finish up, and that is to... So that's Mowen's house. This is the island that I built for the sort of the chat to live on. I do need to do just something very quickly, though. So I just want to go and do a bit of rezoning. So I'm going to unzone most of that to make that a tiny little place, just a little 4 square one. We can increase the size of this one. We will make this Mowen's house, and we'll make this tiny one over here Chris's house. And then this may be a really bad idea, I don't know, and I don't really mind too much if I'm being honest with you, but I think we're going to have to put a little road in. Thank you very much. Just going over here, and then we're going to get rid of... Well, I can't get rid of that bit, can I? If we do that, get rid of that bit, and then we're going to put in a sewage outlet over here. Looks like we might need to tidy up that land a little bit to do it. That's fair. That's fair. I don't mind doing that. Make that super, 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 super small and a lot stronger. And just smooth that. I don't know why it's still being so jaggedy. Let's try that. I don't want you to face into the... Stop snapping. Stop it. I'll put a road to you later. There we go. That looks good. That looks good. I'm happy with that.
How delightful. Another letter from our erstwhile listeners. What's up, honey?
Perfect.
My sister.
Perfect. I am very happy with that. There we go.
That's nice.
So when that house gets destroyed, or it's going to get destroyed and rebuilt, so let's wait for that to happen. And then that will be Chris's house. So when I first showed off a picture of this island and it was snowing in the Discord, there's a Discord by the way, you can take a look at link in the description, Chris said it looked like underpants, shiny underpants. So as a form of punishment, I'm going to give Mowen a bigger house. There's no reason to have Mowen in a tiny house, that's not fair on Mowen. So as a form of punishment, oh hold up, oh no, we don't want that. Almost made a horrific mistake.
Yes, indeed.
Now that shouldn't be able to break through there.
Classical music has been known since the time of the early explorers. Funk, by contrast, is an entirely modern conceit, and you'll find none of that here. Funk, as they say, is for the layperson. Now, let's hear another one of those soulful carols.
Now that might be just because that's a bit... If we move this a little bit over to the side,
about hitting the streets, you can expect delays
just a
on the
bit
major roads,
further
especially
over.
during rush hour.
So as if we need to, actually, we could just...
Seems like everyone is in a hurry to get somewhere fast. It's worth slowing down. And if you can, plan your trip outside the rush.
Oh,
if you're going to punish someone for saying something rude about your wonderful creation, you've got to do it right, haven't you?
Besides, if I did that, I'd never get anywhere.
Now, if we put it a bit further over, it might have just been that the game thought it was splashing over the sides. So we'll do that and get rid of that little segment of road. Now we should be able to get rid of that without any issues. No, it looks like sewage can just flow through there. So we'll leave that blocked off. I genuinely don't mind. It looks like water's flowing through there all the way, doesn't it? Well, maybe I can give Chris his own little sewage pool. I assumed that these little areas, which are blocked off entirely, would not be subject to the river, because they're blocked off entirely. But it looks like that might not be the case. So we'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to leave that there. If we pop up our... Oh, it definitely is getting through there. Oh, well, now I'm very disappointed. Now I'm very disappointed. Why don't you have any electric? You do. You're lying to me. I'm ignoring you. Oh, everyone's got no electric. Just everyone here. I mean, you do. You do. I'm ignoring you because you're lying to me. Yeah, maybe we'll try moving Chris to one of the eyes perhaps then, next time. Current capacity is not enough to keep up. Yes, it is. Ah, now there's a roadblock over here, look. So what we'll just very quickly do is the last thing in the stream is we'll just add a connection from there over to there like we did before. I think it went over there, didn't it? Yeah. So that's sort of what we had before. I got rid of it because I didn't think we need it because this transformer station was supplying this bit of the city, but we put it back in there. That's fine. That's fine. Again, I'm not going to save it, so you'll have to remind me to do that. I was going to save it after we did Chris's thing, but that failed, so we're not going to save it for that either. Oh well. But yes, anyway. 3 hours I have now been recording. And it's been pretty successful. Again, this is why I didn't want to do this on stream, because the whole stream would just me be putting in a motorway, and I would probably either wouldn't get it finished because I get distracted by everything else, or I would get it finished and I'd do no expansion, which obviously is sort of the name of the game here. We have lost, I think, about... Let's have a quick look. I think we've lost about 4,000 citizens. Oh no. No, we haven't. I'm a liar. I thought we were on 29. We're on 26. We've lost a couple of thousand citizens in doing this, but that's not too big of a problem. It's only a couple of thousand. I did try. The only other thing I will mention is my entire intention was to put this massive motorway down and then add sound barriers all along the motorway, which look like this. Because obviously having a motorway going through the middle of the city, well, that's going to create a lot of noise. We know it's going to create a lot of noise. So I was going to mitigate that by putting down sound barriers. Turns out you cannot put them down on raised motorways. So it does make the idea of doing a sunken motorway a bit better in terms of actually having some noise protection there, because right now people are gonna moan. People are gonna moan about the noise, something chronic, and there's literally nothing I can do about it. So I'm a bit sad about that. I might even drop a little thing into Paradox and Colossal Order and just say, I want to be able to put sound barriers on raised motorways, because my city's going to go terribly otherwise. Change your development ideas to make my city work, if you don't mind. Anyway, we're going to leave that there. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. As I said, this is the city we've been building in stream. So if you want to come along and see it expand, see me finish punishing Chris for his just awfulness, just rudeness. Rudeness beyond compare. Come along and say hello. Help me punish Chris if you like. Otherwise, I'll see you next time in some other magical adventure. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.